So welcome on India.com, Shamita, and good to see you here. And let's talk about Black Widow. Oh my God, that's such an interesting title, Shamita. So tell me what's happening in the show.
Well, Black Widows is about these three women who are really, really good friends, and they are in abusive marriages, and how they muster up the courage to actually take back the power in their relationships.
Right.
Of course, in this show, we've gone to extremes. Because they've killed their respective husbands. That's not something we're telling people to do.
Right.
But I think if you were to symbolically look at this, it's about these women who gather, or rather muster up the courage to do what is good or right for them.
Right.
And that's the message we're probably wanting to send to people, to the women out there who are in abusive marriages.
Right.
The one thing I would like to say to them is, just talk about it. Reach out for help. When you talk about it, it will give you the courage probably to do, to make the right decision for yourself.
Right, right. So Shamita, when you bring out a show which is dealing with such a sensitive concept, abusive marriages, and you're asking women to just take a stand for themselves. Do you think that the show will do justice to the entire sensitivity of the concept?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, because at the end of the day, look, this is a movie, a series. There are cinematic liberties that we take when we make a film. But like I said, you have to take what is important. You have to understand the message that we're trying to put out there, because at the end of the day, these are three very strong women.
Right.
And unfortunately, they are in relationships that are completely devoid of respect.
Right.
And that is the most important thing in any relationship.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. And the fact that, they have this beautiful friendship that they share with each other, that is what gives them the strength to, just protect themselves.
Right.
To even dream of a better future for themselves.
Right.
So yeah, and I mean, if you watch the series, you'll understand how emotionally and physically each of them was, tormented.
Absolutely.
Which led them to take such a drastic step.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the trailer, and of course, that's how these questions came into my mind. So, Shamita, one thing, like, of course, it's that the concept is about abusive marriages and how you guys are dealing with it. But another thing that's happening in the show is there's this beautiful bonding between three women, right? I want to know that, when you had, suppose, say, entered into the industry, or when you were growing up, or when we were growing up, we couldn't see many series, TV shows, or or films that actually touched upon this concept of women bonding. Of course, it's not like women have just started bonding. I mean, this had been happening. So do you think that the makers are now little more, they're just looking at women to sort of gauge their perspective into their stories?
Well, I think for starters now, like you said, there are a lot more films and web series that are more focused, or rather women centric.
Right.
More focused on issues, related to women. And I feel the audience out there is a lot more accepting of these subjects now. They want to see stuff that is real, stuff that is actually happening out there, stuff that they can relate to. Now people are experimenting also with their subjects because of that. It's not like the good old days,
Right.
So I think that's a welcome change. I like that we can finally talk about or highlight issues that are important now,
Right.
and get the right amount of attention.
Right. So, Shamita, but you know how important it is to see, or whether it's a writer or a director, to just not make it like a chick film that we say, but actually highlight the emotions, the depth of what the women are feeling when they are bonding with each other. I mean, it's not just like that they're just sharing a champagne and just chit chatting. I mean, of course that of course is there, but beyond that also there's a law that's happening there?
Well, I mean, really depends on what kind of subject you're putting out there. There are a lot of women-centric films that are just also focused on fun.
Right.
You know, it's not like we're not seeing that on screen. But
Yeah,
this
that's
one, like you said,
hmm.
is focused on an issue as well, and
Right.
everything that happens after that.
Hmm.
Obviously, I mean, there's also a thriller element here, because at the end of the day, after they've killed their respective husbands, one comes back, and none of them know which one has come back. And there's also an investigation alongside that is constantly keeping them on their toes. So life is not as simple as they thought it would be, even after they got rid of their issues. You
Right.
know,
Right.
those getting rid of that issue just created more issues later.
Right.
So so it's, I mean, it's a very gripping story. It's gonna, it kind of constantly makes you want to know, oh, what's gonna happen next,
Right.
you know
Yeah.
uh which is perfect,
Mm-hmm. So,
considering
Shabita,
it's a thriller.
let's, yeah, yeah. So let's just, I mean, when I was watching the show, the trailer, I realized that, of course, it's visible that the three women just plan together and they just kill their husbands, right? So I want to know what is stopping these modern, educated women to actually take the support of law, or, just don't do it themselves and just, file cases. I mean, there are laws to support these women. Then what? Why aren't more educated women thinking about that?
Well, I think for starters, it takes its time, right? Law takes its time.
Right,
Apart
right,
from that, for a woman to actually come up with the decision of standing up for herself, leaving her husband, she has to look into various different factors. Um, she will obviously consider her family,
right.
children if involved. I mean, there's so many factors that take precedence for a woman, Um, and we are emotionally driven,
Yeah,
whether we like to believe it or not.
yeah. And I don't think
So
there's a problem in that, being emotionally driven. I think
there's
it's a
absolutely
strength.
no problem with
Yeah,
that. We
yeah,
are emotionally driven. I mean, damn it, we give birth to babies.
yeah.
you know,
That's it. Yeah,
we are the ones who are emotionally
yeah.
driven. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
But I think it takes a lot for a woman to actually um, gather the courage to walk out of a marriage when she's abused.
Right,
So I don't know. Some women find that strength to go move on in life. Some women don't want to start from scratch again
right.
in terms of a relationship.
Hmm.
So I don't really know it individually. It depends on on each individual, and also I think how you're brought up makes a difference.
Right,
I have grown up in a home where we've had three women, uh, and there was just one man in the house, my father,
right,
and we were given that respect. We were allowed to choose our professions. We were allowed to do what we wanted to do. Of course, we were given the right values and all of that. Parents were fairly strict as well,
right,
but also taught to stand up for what is right.
right,
And so that is the foundation. That was our foundation. We are people who are very sure of ourselves and
right.
what is right and what is wrong.
Hmm.
And I don't think we would really encourage something that is wrong. So it depends on each individual, where they're coming from, what kind of background they've come from as well.
Right, right,
That
right.
makes a difference. I think um you'll react to a situation accordingly.
Mhm. But Shamita, of course, I mean, how you're brought up has to play a role in that. But do you think that currently the kind of where we are living and where we are coming from, there's little less faith in law when it comes to women?
Maybe, I guess, somewhere down the line there is.
Yeah.
It takes too long. Even in rape cases, it takes so long
Right,
for justice to come about.
right.
It's sad. I feel they definitely need to come up with stricter laws to
Mm-hmm.
protect the women in the country.
Right, right. So Shabita, just a little question which is not related to this, but I would love to ask you that. I've been following you on social media and everywhere, and I really love what I really love about it. You follow this really strict diet, and you're totally fit, and you are just doing a lot of exercises. I want to know, has this come from your sister, or were you like together in this? Ever since it
Absolutely
happened?
not. I think I started working out way before my sister.
Yeah.
I was introduced to weight training during Mohabbatein.
Okay.
That was the first time I really looked into health and fitness. And
Mm-hmm.
at that time, my sister used to not even work out. So I've been doing this for over 20, 21 years.
Yeah.
But as far as following a strict diet is concerned, no, I eat exactly what I want. I have a sweet tooth, so I have to have my chocolate. I just make sure I kill myself in the gym.
Oh my God.
Let me
Yeah.
just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So,
can't starve. I love my food.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, okay. If you say so. We don't believe that you must be having a lot of sweets,
No,
but it's okay.
please believe it.
Yeah.
I love my food.
Okay, okay, okay. So, Shamita, what is happening in cinema field for you? I mean, I know that you are here doing OTT, but I want to know what stopped you from pursuing that career there, this kind of career there.
So, I mean, there was no conscious effort or decision made to only do work on this platform,
Right.
but better work is coming to me here. So, at the end of the day, I'm just interested in my scripts, my characters, how much more I can do, and which platform it's on.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't matter if it's this platform, if it's television, if it's a big screen, Bengali cinema, Marathi cinema, all that doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
I just care about the content,
Hmm.
what it gives me as an actor to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, did Black Widow kind of had an impact on you in certain way as a woman?
Well, for starters, I was portraying a character that was, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, uh, all I can say is I had a lot of fun shooting
Okay.
for this, and luckily, I think we were away all together for so long, so we ended up becoming friends. We ended up having a lot of fun together as well, even when we were not working. So it was a lovely experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I want to
We
say on.
managed to put a web series out during this pandemic. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And please watch out. There are husbands being killed. So women, this is for you. And let's just see. Yeah. Let's just see Shamita rock this one. So thank you so very much, Shamita, for talking to us.
thank,
And all the
thank,
best for Black Widow.
thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.